Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be showing you a clip of hatching the divine FRIGG dragon. So yes, the one out of last week's divine chest, because Max yet again has been kind enough to send in his own clip for all of us to take a look at. So again, massive thanks goes out to him. But let us get straight into this clip then. So first of all, the egg for the FRIGG dragon does look pretty sweet. I mean, just look at him. He looks so cute. Well, I say him slash her. But mates with the Odin dragon, the FRIGG dragon can wield powerful magic and is said to know the fate of all things. Luckily for this trainer, the FRIGG dragon isn't giving out spoilers. So the FRIGG dragon is a divine, light and wind dragon. A very defensive sort of dragon with 79 base attack. So it's not the best divine in the world, and especially, compared to Freya and Odin. But if you do want to use it on a more defensive team, say coupled with water or earth or something like that, the FRIGG dragon actually isn't all that bad. You could have a much worse team rather than using it, but this is little Verk, and I don't know, just look at it. Cool dragon overall, and I see the rest of Max's collection of divines over there. I saw the Hathor dragon again. I saw all of those up there. It's making me slightly depressed. Look, only joking, but seriously though, I do wish that RNG had been kinder to us and would have been able to give us at least a couple of these chest dragons over time, but no, still to this day, we have failed every single time. But alas, here's a fight with the FRIGG, the Erlang Shen, and the, what's it called again? Isis. When there's 400 and something, 500 dragons, my brain goes all over the place. But the one thing that I have noticed about FRIGG is the fact that it is tiny in comparison to the Erlang Shen. Do you see that? It's like half the size. Unless that's just the Erlang Shen's coat, sort of, I don't know, weirding me out a little bit. But, like all divine dragons, of course, they're not going to be very strong until you've unlocked all of their attacks, until you've leveled them up to level 6 attacks and stuff like that. So, for now, these divines are just going to be smashing them in the face with the basic divine element, which, is fine if they want to do that. But it does take time to upgrade divines, and plus they can also be kind of annoying to enchant. So I myself might not have a FRIGG dragon on our account, which may be annoying. I may want all of the divines in the game, but I still am happy with the little collection of divines that we do have. I mean, I've never really spent on any divine chests other than like the clam subscription when it's been on sale. And we've still gotten a decent amount of divines overall. We got Anubis, we got the 2 breedable divines as well, being the Pango and Aphrodite. And let's be honest, a lot of people struggled majorly with trying to breed these guys in the short period that they were here. So, even if you don't get every divine in the game, don't be too upset about it, because the whole point is that we can share our experiences with one another. That's what all this is about. Why do you think I show you clips of me hatching stuff? It's not just for the sake of gloating, because I couldn't care less. The reason that we do it is so that people that don't have access to these dragons can, see what they're like, see if, in future, if they ever come back again, if they might want to potentially try their best to get them. Because you never know. Even though Gameloft have said they don't really like re-releasing the divines, as you've seen plenty of times. Oh my god, all of those things just popped up at once. There's always the chance. There's always the chance that they might come back eventually. Not in these awfully expensive catch-up packs either. I'm talking about actually come back in various different events, because I would never, ever, for the life of me, buy one of those catch-up packs. Even if I was just one piece away from Odin, I would not be able to force myself to do it. I just couldn't. There's no way. So, keep all of that in mind. And, we do have another Divine Chest Week coming up soon with the Heimdall Dragon and stuff like the Jormungand. What else is in there? I've actually forgotten. I could go and check it if I want, but it's not that important, because we'll have to deal with that for the whole week next week anyway. so I'm sure we'll be sick of it by day 2. Essentially though, by the time that this week of the Divine event is over, the major part of the event is done. Because when we've gotten Odin and Thor collected, all that is left is that Divine chest week and then hatching all of the Divines for the Freya time period. So, we are at the end stretch of the Divine event overall. And the hardest week, by far, is going to be this week. Because I've said it before, and I've been saying it for the last few days as well, this castle event is no joke. You know how I complain normally about how difficult it is? This one is not a joke. Luckily for me, it has all of the element requirements of my team, but it's a tough one, and it is going to be very close if you're someone that's busy throughout your days. Like, when I say you need to be collecting points every single reset, I really do mean it. That's only including every second lot of breeding, because as you know, to be able to fully deplete all of the breeding quest points in the castle events, you do need a second breeding den. You cannot do it with one breeding den without, you know, spending money on speeding timers up. It is not possible. And you know, we always used to complain, it's like, why? Why do we have a quest in-game to do that we literally cannot fully deplete the points for without having to gem? And then Gameloft said, well, do you like our second breeding den? So, I think that is a really dirty way of getting people to purchase the second breeding den. But some people will genuinely spend the £4 or whatever it is for a 30-day rental on a breeding den just so that they can ensure that they finish off this Divine event. And I know people that have done that. So I guess if it works, I suppose we can't really blame them for it, but it's obvious sort of where the logic for a second breeding den came from. And plus, remember now, we do have level 5 hatchery upgrades if you want to spend an insane amount of money on it. So that makes everything about having all these extra breeding dens, extra hatching spaces, it just feels like the game is continuing to expand for people that are willing to pay all of that money for those extras. And yet the game has sort of stayed the same for people that either aren't willing to spend anymore or have never spent before. Because, I mean, how difficult was it for you? Say you're a person that has never spent a single penny on this game. How difficult was it for you to save up for a hatchery at max upgrade? Like, old upgrade, level 3. Because I know that on my Android account, it was a lot of effort. And again, that's what the Android account was used for as well. Sort of like a reminder of what it was like to go back up through the levels and with a new set of dragons in the new way that the game is. Because you gotta remember, old DML, there were no divines, there were no shadow and light dragons, no enchantment league, no dungeon. Pretty much all that there was the main map. What else? Dragons of the month. And for a while, we didn't even get special events. It took them a little while to implement those. So, old DML really was such a basic sort of game. And the game has changed a lot. Like, if I ever get a comment on an old video and say I go to respond to it, I'm like, oh my god, DML looked so different back here. Like, what the heck? The UI has changed completely. The text has changed completely. It's just like the text, symbols, everything about the game has just changed a lot. And a lot of people would say some of those changes were not for the better. But I think, overall, even though I hated the addition of Divine Dragons and now Exception Dragons, I think, at the end of the day, at least they've given us something new to do in terms of DML. If you get what I mean. Like, at least now... Oh, come on, let's wait for 20 seconds for the Hermes Dragon to be ready. But they really have at least given us another goal, another thing to strive for. They've given us these special divine events where we get to see other cultures and their gods and, you know, learn new stuff. So it's good for the kids as well. Whereas old DML, it was basically just, here is a typical mobile game. As always, you know, what do? You breed, you battle a bit. I guess you don't really do that in some breeding games. But you breed, you battle a bit, and that's it. So I do like how the Enchantment League and Arena did improve on everything a little bit, where they were just sort of different ways to play the same game. Because, you know, there is so much to do in DML now that if you go, okay, I'm going to do the dungeon, the arena, the Enchantment League, I'm going to use all my portal energy, I'm going to do the clan quests, I'm going to do the daily quests. What else do we have in a day? I'm going to do I'm going to go put a dragon in for Ascension and kill it. I'm going to go and explore in the ruins. I'm going to do the castle event that's 2 weeks long as well at the same time, along with a special mini Halloween event that I wish they'd given us. Sometimes it does get a little bit overwhelming with just how many different things there are, but it has increased how long players can actually play the game for at the same time. So, I don't know. Some of those things, obviously, when you've, say, gotten all the dungeon dragons, it becomes obsolete. When you get all of the enchantment dragons up to level 8 that you want, and you get the sumo, the Enchantment League becomes obsolete. But I guess eventually there should be almost an end goal to achieve. Because, you know, with how long it takes to fully upgrade dragons and everything, I don't even feel too bad that there should be some sort of ending to it all, air quotes. But anyway, we have gotten that purple chest for now. We can get another battle chest in an hour, so I will come back and get that when we can. Joko cannot be enchanted quite yet, although he is very, very close. We're edging it. We're edging his level 5 Enchantment League upgrade, so there is an ongoing goal for us, but, you know, like I said, thank you to everyone that has sent clips in so far. I still need to go through a couple more and see what we're going to put up, but I probably will have another clip video with another cool dragon that you're not expecting soon. But try your best in the Divine event. I wish you the best of luck with whatever you're breeding as well, whether it's the Dragon of the Month, because he is going in 15 hours, so we will have that Chevalier Dragon in under a day, which, you know, maybe we could use him on our final team. You never know. You never know. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining me, and until next time, I will see you then.